Welcome Year 7s to our third lesson on how to write a melody line. Today we're going to be using the playground on Learning Ableton. If the link hasn't taken you here, you can find that by going to the index menu and clicking down to the playground. What you'll notice about this page, it's pretty nifty. It now combines all 4 sections that we have learnt so far. You've got room for your beats. You've got room for your bass lines. You've got a grid for your chords. And you've got a grid for your melody line. So there's a couple of things here. Unless you get to the extension activity today, don't worry about doing anything in the beats, nothing in the bass lines. Don't worry about the chords for the moment. We are going to be focusing on the chords and the melodies. So firstly, we need to write our chord progression so that we know what we need to write our melody over. The 3 chords that we've learnt so far are C major, G major, and F major. In C major, we have C, E, G. In G major, we have G, B, D. And in F major, we have F, A, C. You can use these notes and these chords in any way that you would like, as long as we have these 3 notes playing all at the same time in each chord. So I'm just going to write a quick chord progression. It's going to go C, G, F, and then I'm going to go to another C chord, but I'm going to play that C chord in a different inversion. As you know, it's still a C chord, even though my notes are in a different order. I'm then going to have something a little bit different then. I might then go back to the F chord, but I'm going to play my F chord in this way. Whoops. Here we go. And then I'm going to go to my G chord here. Oops. And then I'm going to go back to my F chord. This time I'm going to have some longer notes. Oops. Stretch these out in a different rhythm. And then I'm going to go to a nice low C chord. I'm going to have a nice long note at the end with a little extra bit there. So this is my chord progression. In the first bar I've got C, second bar I've got G, then F, then C. And then I've got 2 F chords in my 5th bar. I've got 2 G chords in my 6th bar, an F chord in my 7th bar, and in my final bar here I've got a C chord. Let's have a listen. I might slow it down actually. I'd like this to go at 70. So that's a good chord progression. I haven't got it too fast. I've got 1 chord in each bar, and I've got 3 notes and the correct notes in each chord. You'll notice when I change my tempo slider, it changes automatically the tempo slider for all of the other grids. So I'm going to leave mine at 70 beats per minute. That's a good tempo. So as I come down here to write my melody line, I have to be aware of what chords I've chosen. And when I'm starting to choose my notes for my melody line, I'm going to take direction from the chords that I've chosen. So I'm not just going to choose rando melody notes like this, because this is going to sound super strange with the chords that I've written. Let's play it and listen to what that sounds like when we're a bit silly and we choose random notes. Here we go, random melody. So it just doesn't quite flow and it doesn't really fit with the chords that I've written. So what I want to think about then is in the first bar I've got a C major chord. Now I might use those notes from the C major chord in my melody. I can use them in lots of various different ways. I can use them down the bottom. I'm going to keep my melody nice and high at the top so that it sits on top of the chords. So instead of that, I'm going to go C, D, E, E. So I'm using two of the notes from the C major chord, C and E, and I've added in a little D there as a little step. So then I need to think about my second bar here, where I've used a G major chord, and then I might want to think about what notes are in G major. So in G I have G, B, and D. So I can use some of these notes then to get the next little part of my melody line. So I might then come down to a D. I might have a nice couple of short Ds, and then I might jump up, I'll leap up to a G. Actually, I'm going to have a little step in there instead. I might change that to an F because I didn't have an F before. All right, so I've got, again, two of my notes from my G chord in my melody line with a little extra note F there to get me to that G. My next chord here, I've got an F major chord, so I've got the notes F, A, and C. So I can think about where these notes are and think about using those in my melody line. So then I might want to head up to an A, and then I might want to step down to an F, like this. I'm going to have, a long A at the top there, I think. Okay, my next chord in my fourth bar is then another C major. So I want to think about the notes that are in C major, C, E, and G, and I might want to use some of those in my melody line, which I do. So I'm going to have E and G. So let's just have a listen to how that little melody works so far with the chords. Line fits really nicely with my chords because I'm using some of the notes from the chords. You can also see that my melody line's starting to have that little sort of worm or snake shape to it, which it really should have if it's moving in steps and skips. So I think you get the idea. I'm going to leave you now to write your own chord progression and melody line that fits in with your chord progression. Take your time. This one's going to take you maybe a little bit more time to really get it right. Listen back. Does it sound like it works together well and like it fits together like a jigsaw puzzle? That's ultimately what you want. Have fun, and I'll look forward to hearing your chords with your melody lines.